Hey everybody, Sean McInnes right here alongside Nevin Dravinsky, who's here to tell us all about UFC Undisputed 3. Nevin, you guys sort of had established an annual release cycle with UFC 2010, but you've broken from that for UFC Undisputed 3. Why did you guys decide to give yourself extra time for this title?
Well, simply put, the executive staff saw that, what we were going through and trying to just hit a yearly title. I mean, the shortened development cycle really kind of limits what you're able to do. And we really wanted to blow out UFC 3. And I think the game's going to be better for it. I mean, this is going to be the best Undisputed game, if not the best MMA game ever.
Let's talk about some of the new features in there. One of the highlights you mentioned there was added accessibility for the guys who aren't necessarily the die-hard UFC fans. Can you talk about walking that fine line between making the game accessible while still not alienating existing fans?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we recognize that we do have a deep technical fighting game here. So we've introduced a new a control scheme, an alternate control scheme, so those quarter circle and greater than quarter circle turns on the right stick are replaced by up and down inputs on the right stick. So classic UFC controls are still available, and you'll have more advanced maneuvers available to you, but the barrier for entry in the alternate control scheme is less severe. On top of that, we've sort of broken from some of our tenets about not having any sort of graphics on screen, and we've introduced a graphic-based submission system. This is something that was, the submission system for the past two games has always been the most polarizing aspect. There was no real clear way to indicate why you're winning or losing, or people didn't understand the dynamic unless it was explained to them. And so now, based on our feedback and our focus groups with our community and our fans, we really feel confident that this new kind of graphic-based submission system is still going to give you that cat and mouse back and forth aspect, but still give you a very clear indication of why you won or lost.
All right, Nevin, sounds good. Before I let you go, can you go ahead and let everybody out there know when the game is coming out and the platforms it'll be available for?
UFC Undisputed 3 will be available on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in first quarter 2012.
All right, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
There you guys have it. UFC Undisputed 3. Stay tuned for more coverage over the upcoming months.